Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes. Joining us in studio, we do have Dwight Wheelan, a resident up there at the Mill Creek Crossing Connection. And, of course, Dwight goes right across from the new model home that is available for you to come and check it out. And I know, Dwight, on Sunday was the little get-together. So how did that go? Did you drop by?
You should have come by.
I knew it. I knew I forgot something
Mary
else.
had some of the best cookies, and she always has a pot of coffee.
Oh,
and
okay.
she doesn't drink coffee, so I drink too much. But we had 5 visitors.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of interest in the house. I never thought about it, but when I walked in, I was greeted with a nice fire in the fireplace.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
just made it real homey. And sat and visited with the people for the whole 2 hours. And in fact, we had to get some information for one of them when they left and get it to them after the fact. But nevertheless, I think it was a very successful day. And I just saw Mary before I came here. Happy birthday, Mary.
Oh, it's her birthday today. All right.
And she told me that one of the people that were there Saturday were back yesterday.
Oh,
So,
okay.
for the 3rd visit.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it was a good day and nice refreshments, and I just kept going to the refreshments.
Well, you know, you mentioned the fireplace, and I never thought, I've never really asked that question before. So is it an actual, fireplace with wood and stuff, or is it like a gas?
No, it's a gas.
Yeah, that's what I
fireplace.
figured, yeah.
You touch the switch and it comes on.
Okay.
No ashes to carry out and no wood to carry out.
Oh, yeah, well, that's good. And
Sure, my kind.
that's the way to do it nowadays, but yeah, I grew up in a house that had an actual fireplace, so I remember having to clean out all the ash, and yeah, it's always...
Well, I had one put in, and the kids really enjoyed it.
Okay.
In fact, I told one of the kids that was there Saturday, I said, "Now, Grandma will let you roast hot dogs in that fireplace." And Grandma had other ideas, of course. But we used to, with our 2 granddaughters that lived here in town. Shirley would put a sheet down in front of the fireplace, and we'd roast wieners and marshmallows and just had a lot of fun with the girls.
Yeah, and that's the way I remember winters, too, growing up as a kid, is just sitting around the fireplace.
Yep.
That was, that's how you stayed warm. When you have the drafty house with the curtains that move around in the wind,
Yep.
It's like, well, where are you going to... You gonna sit in your cold room, or are you gonna go down by the fireplace? And so that's where we.
The trouble with the fireplaces, though, too much of the heat went up.
Right.
You had to be in front of it.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was sure nice. Nice.
Yep. That's for sure. Well, Super Bowl Sunday came and went, of course, and I remember Dan used to always talk about how that was kind of the kickoff to the home selling season, and so once the Super Bowl was over, then interest in the homes really picked up, but it sounds like you've got somebody already kind of really interested in the home out there, and boy, if they end up buying that, then you'll be looking for another home to be built, won't you?
That's right. No, I remember Dan telling us that.
Mm-hmm.
The men get off of the couch and take the women to the open houses, he said.
Yep, because once football season is over now, not until next August when it picks up again. So,
well, the whole Wheelan family, except us, was real happy with the outcome. Of course, the Chiefs are their team, so
yep.
We heard who won it from the. No, when I went to bed that night, they said my phone told me the 49ers won it, 22-19. I got up the next morning and saw that the Chiefs had won it. So,
well, right. What happened was it went to overtime, and they kicked a field goal. And the old overtime rules used to be is whoever scored first won. So that's probably why the phone thought, well, San Francisco just scored, so it must be over. But no, the other team then gets the ball, and they either tie it or win it, and they won it. So,
Yeah.
which I much prefer that. I remember, again, as a kid growing up, seeing a game where it goes to overtime. The first team that wins the toss gets it, gets into field goal range, kicks the field goal, game over.
Yeah.
So the whole game comes down to who wins the toss, and you don't want it based on that.
No.
But yeah, and you mentioned the fireplace we said, but this particular model home has all the latest updates and things that Dan's incorporated in as they continue to take suggestions and come up with their own ideas where people say, hey, well, how about this, or why don't you try that? And so this home is really nice in that way, isn't it?
Yes, and one of the big things in this home, normally he would put the sink in the island.
Right.
In this home, the sink is across from the island, and the island is all drawers and doors, and of course a nice eating area on the opposite side of the island. So the sink has been moved, and that suits some women probably, and some it may not, but there's sure a lot of drawer and door space in the cabinets, just all kinds of storage. Plus, there's a pantry built into the corner of the kitchen area. So storage is no problem in this house.
Okay, yeah, that's always a top question too from some of the ladies is what kind of cabinet space do I have in the kitchen and that sort of thing.
And they have I've had ladies tell me, I cook for the whole family, or I cook for different things, and I have a lot of pots and pans and mixers and stuff like that. Where can I store all that? And you look at this place, and there's no problem where you're going to store stuff.
Well, that is good. Definitely good to know. And you mentioned that with the island. I've seen both, the sink in the island and the sink not in the island, and I don't know. To me, it's not really an eating space to eat next to a sink. So I'd prefer if that's where I'm eating my meal, I don't want the sink right there.
That's a good point. Good point. I hadn't heard that one yet, but it makes sense. But,
Yeah.
But different strokes for different folks, they
Right.
used to say.
Yep.
And the ladies, the kitchen's important to the women. They spend an awful lot of time there trying to take care of their family. And of course, this house too is a 3-bedroom on the main level.
Right.
Plenty of space downstairs for at least 2 more with the egress windows, and a bathroom down there. But it can accommodate a pretty good sized family. And of course, those bedrooms are not in place down in the basement now, but they can be added.
Sure.
And anyone that wants the bedrooms down there know that then that's going to cost extra. But another thing about Dan, if people get together with him and tell him what they want, and he has what they want, or he builds what they want, he's going to quote them a price. Mm-hmm. And that price is good whether they move into the house this year or the next year, whatever. Once he quotes the price, and then of course if there's some changes, then change orders are signed. But that's good because so many times you agree to buy a car or build a house or whatever, and the one that comes in has something extra on it. Well, that's another $1,000 or so, but the price you quoted is the price you pay. And that's always been something that I was proud to tell people, because I didn't want that other situation to happen to me, and I know how people feel.
Oh, absolutely. there's a lot of experience with just different situations where you have, like you said, a construction or a car or something where this is the price that's quoted and you work that into your budget, and then all of a sudden they came back and say, oh, the price of this went up, so you're going to have to pay an extra this or an
And
extra that.
Dan has lost a couple of sales because I quoted the wrong price.
Mm.
I told people what it would be before I had the final price in hand. So, and people rebel, I mean, as I probably would too.
Sure.
But once it's in a contract and signed by both parties, that's it.
Yep.
Needless to say, the price I quoted was not in a contract nor signed. So, but, you know, people can come out anytime. Mary's there from Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 1. Like you said, I live right behind the model home. If people want to come around the block and knock on my door, I'll be happy to walk over there with them and unlock it and let them browse around all they want to. Mary will too if she is home or not tied up with something else. But people can see the home anytime they want to.
Right.
And there's no hard selling. We'll offer to make a contact with Dan for them if they're ready to talk to Dan. If they're not ready, he's not involved in it yet.
Exactly. And of course, you mentioned right at the beginning Mary's birthday, so if you want to wish her a happy birthday today, I'm sure she'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she knows we wish her a happy birthday. She was over at our house and we told her happy birthday. And,
So,
you know, we just experienced the end of the month one of the coldest spells I ever remember in Clinton, Iowa. I remember snow, but I don't remember cold. And we were so comfortable.
yeah.
We never touched the thermostat. We didn't nail down any curtains. So we enjoyed the comfort of the home.
Well, definitely what I noticed during that time was the furnace was running practically nonstop. I don't remember it ever not running.
Yeah. Well, ours is so quiet. I didn't hear a lot of it, but I know it ran when I got the light bill.
Well, I think we've come out or run up out of time, so
Yeah.
we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, Mary's there 11 to 1, Tuesday through Saturday, so if you want to stop in during that time, she'd love to see you. Otherwise, you can call and make arrangements and find a time that's more convenient for you.
You bet.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks a lot, Dwight, for once again being our guest today. That is today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection. Listen every Wednesday morning at this time here on KROS, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes.
KROS 1340 AM, Clinton, Iowa, and FM 105.9